All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. Today we're going to be doing that kind of lake breakdown thing, but you know what we're dealing with is we just had a bunch of rain, okay, and it's been what, a couple days probably that we hadn't had rain, and so we're dealing with post conditions. And when that happens in the heat of summer, it can be very, very stressful because not just stressful on you, but stressful on the fish, which is why this all kind of collides together. But you know, we show up, and this is typically what's going to happen to you. You're going to have those bluebird sunny days like we got today. It's 105 degrees out here, dead still, rarely any wind, and when there is wind, I mean, it's just like a puh. So it's not even that much. So with that being said, we don't have a whole lot of targeting areas to kind of pick apart. And the particular lake that I'm fishing today, there's not many boat docks on it, okay? So, you know, we're talking maybe 30 to 35 boat docks total throughout the entire lake. So, you know, there's not a lot of boat docks. But when that happens, a lot of times what these fish like to do is push up to man-made structures. And typically one of the best things you can do is what we did today is target docks, especially close to deep water. So check out the video, and I'm gonna break everything down for you here in just a minute when we get back. Stay tuned, this is something you don't want to miss. So guys, before we jump into anything, I just want to say if the video helps you at all, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It's a great way to help support the channel, help keep this channel in the algorithm. Also subscribe, it's free, and I got you covered every Monday, Thursday, and Friday with bass fishing tips, tricks, techniques, behind the scenes, all kinds of goofy good stuff. There's a little bit of everything on this channel. But if you ever have any questions, make sure to drop a comment down below, anything you want to add, or you just want to talk fishing. I love hearing from you guys. Somebody done took his eye out. See how wide it was? See how wide his eye is? Good old spot. Hey, it's getting up all shit. Crawl, too. Little fish. I saw him when I set the hook, he was going like this. Huh?
They're getting lower on the food there.
Yeah. There you go, pal. Put them outside of my. Decent little spot. Man, they're so bad. Lord,
Oh, that's only good enough.
I'll tell you.
Maybe from that in the from the basement. Or food court.
Here's a fly. Large head. Come here.
Oh,
I think it's his fish. To be honest with you. She's tail just super small or what, but she's mad at it.
is it more so they can fall faster?
Yeah. It does. Now, unless they're last tech. The last tech is just so wide, you have to add so much salt to them to get them to fall faster. So yes and no with the last tech. You can only add so much salt to the last tech. So I'm saying, yeah. There you go.
Good?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Nah. No.
He's decent.
Still recording. Get it all the way down in the gully. So look guys, what we're doing today is we've got super calm weather. I mean super calm, it's super hot, it's like 105 out here. No wind. And what we're doing is we're targeting the shadiest side of boat docks with football head jigs and wacky rigs. And a lot of times what happens is like this time of year, and when I say this time of year, June, July, August, when you get a lot of that rain and you know, that weather kind of settles down. It's kind of like, you know, post-frontal conditions. The water comes up a little bit. Maybe they're not pulling as much, but the water comes up either just a little bit or a lot. A lot of times these fish like to push up in the shadiest spots that they can get under docks that are shaded. So one of the things that I want to talk about is when you know, you're dealing with these conditions, these slick, calm conditions, really hot, you know, sun's up really high kind of stuff going on. When you're thinking of choosing a bait, like I always talk about, you know, it's not always about the brand and stuff like that. Is that bait the correct tool for that situation. So if the wind's blowing really heavy, I want a heavy bait. That way I can have control of that bait. That way when I get bit, I still have control of that bait and control of the fish. Same when it's slick calm, okay? I don't necessarily want something super heavy that's just gonna dart straight to the bottom if the fish are suspended or anything like that. There's a lot of factors that go into play. But what we're dealing with today is the fish are suspended in that 5 to 6 foot range. They're steadily in that 5 to 6 foot range, no matter where they're at, whether that's docks or points and stuff like that. We saw tons of fish, just spotted bass, roaming out on the main and stuff, but you know, those fish are typically those smaller fish that it's just fun to catch. You know, if you want to go catch 100 fish, you can go and target those fish. What we were looking for was a little bit bigger fish. Now we got a late start, so we kind of figured, you know, the big bass, those 5+ pound fish, were going to be a little bit harder to find. And by all means, they definitely were, but I was confident enough that if I would have kept skipping those docks and stuff, that I would eventually bump into one. But one of the biggest baits that I can tell you that I like to use to not only target a bunch of fish, but big fish, especially this time of year, because we're coming out of the brim spawn. We've been out of the brim spawn for a little bit, but the period of time that we've been out, the bass are eating on those smaller brim. You know, next time you go to drop your boat in the water, especially early in the morning or maybe late in the evening where there's not a whole lot of people around on the boat dock, just look around that boat dock. I guarantee you'll see a ton of little brim holding next to that dock. So one of the things that I like to do, I like taking a 3/8 ounce or a 1/2 ounce football head jig. If you can't tell, they done wore this joker out. They done wore the paint off the back of it. But this is a G Money football head jig. It's one of my favorite jigs in the world. I like them. I like the War Eagle heavy finesse jigs, but you know, a football head jig or a round head jig is gonna be a great tool. But one of the best things that I can tell you to do is learn to skip. Learn to skip. It's one of the best things that you can do. It's one of the greatest tools you can use in your arsenal, because not only do you typically skip under docks and stuff like that, but overhanging bushes, under dock cables, anything. There's tons of situations where you would want to skip a bait. And a lot of times you'll notice, especially when you're skipping on those calm days, a lot of times those fish will target your bait as it gets done skipping. It's like they can hear that bait skimming across the surface and they will actually go to chase that bait. Now what I like to do this time of year, I like to have a rage tail. Okay, so this is a Rage Chunk Strike King Rage Tail. I've done went through a whole pack of the ones I was using. The ones I was using was a hard candy, but I like the chunks. You can also buy the full crawls and just cut them, you know, however long you need them, depending if you need a bigger one or a shorter one, whatever the case may be. But you know, for the 3/8 ounce and 1/2 ounce, that's absolutely perfect. It buttons up just nice. It's got a lot of action to it. And one of the main things that I was doing, if you was watching real closely, I'm popping that jig. So I'm stroking that jig, I'm popping it a couple times as it hits the water, and then I'm not letting it fall on slack line, okay? I'm letting that bait come to me, just drift towards me on tight line. And 99% of the time, after I got done popping that bait, and as soon as it started to tight line and come towards me, it would move just a couple feet and I would get that bite. So, you know, you can target fish on these calm days with flukes and chatterbaits and all different kinds of stuff. You just kind of have to, you know, figure out what the bass want. But, you know, 99% of the time, that football head jig or that round head jig is going to be a hard one to beat this time of year. So either way, guys, if the video helps you at all, make sure to give me a thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. Subscribe down below. I got you covered every Monday, Thursday, and Friday with bass fishing tips, tricks, anything you can imagine. Also, comment if you ever have any questions, especially about anything I'm talking about today, or anything, you know, that you're wondering about that I didn't cover in the video, or if you just want to talk fishing. I love hearing from you guys. I'll see you next time.